back to Cringe Confessional. I set up an anonymous forum at cringe.coney.gg where Twitch chat could send me their most embarrassing stories and harrowing tales. And we're going to listen to it all here on Cringe Confessional at youtube.com/. I've done like 50 of these intros. You've probably seen the series. If you haven't, then there's a lot for you to go back to. Hey, could you subscribe, please? I'm about to hit 202,000, I think. I'm this close. Here we go. Like and subscribe, and let's get to cringing. Shall we?
The year was 2011. I was a sophomore in high school. At the time, there was a number you could text called Chaka, basically an SMS-based search engine.
What?
You could ask it questions, you could use it to look up song lyrics, etc.
That's kind of neat. I guess it's kind of like an AI, really. Yeah, it's like a chat GPT, but for messaging.
Well, my horny ass used it to roleplay.
Ah, I bet you did. You role-played with the bot? You role-played with Cha-Cha? High school kids have no shame or sense. What do you mean, same? How many of you guys were fucking around with Cha-Cha?
At the time, I was very interested in this girl. Let's just call her Jane. She and I talked from time to time and texted just to have someone to talk to. Anyway, I had a lot of improper thoughts about Jane. I started using Chaka to roleplay scenarios in my head about her.
Oh my god.
One fateful morning, I woke up ready to crank to my idealized version of this poor girl.
Imagine being Cha-Cha bot. Not again. It's 7 a.m. What if Cha-Cha wasn't a bot? It's just a dude at a call center like, oh, 8649 is sending me more messages. He wants to call me Jane.
I sent Chaka a message saying I just went to Jane's house, and she met me at the door without clothes.
Hubba hubba.
Chaka normally responds pretty fast, so I was wondering what was taking so long.
Okay, who did we message? Was it Mom? Was it Jane? Was it your school principal? It could be any of these people. The police? He texted 911. It's sent to Jane, right?
Until I get a response that says, "You, what the fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah.
Coney. I sent that message to Jane.
Did you call Cha-Cha Jane in your phone? You sent the girl you were into, "You meet me at the door with no clothes." What the fuck? She thought this was some Twilight roleplay? Like 50 Shades, you think he Christian Grey? What the fuck are you doing? By the way, it's a morning before school. It's 7 a.m.
In a state of panic, I tried to say how sorry I was and that I meant to send that to Chaka.
That's way worse.
Of course, that made it worse.
Who the fuck is Cha-Cha? Oh, it's just a robot that I have to pretend to be you to come at the door with no clothes. I wouldn't make you do that. I'd tell a robot to do it. I'd tell it everything about you.
She figured out what I was doing pretty fast and was disgusted by the fact that I was using Chaka to perv on her with creepy horny scenarios in my head.
Oh my god, man!
I've never told anyone this story except my wife of now 4 years.
Dude, it's not Jane, right? That can't be Jane. All right.
She thinks it's funny at least.
Yeah, it is funny. It is funny. I don't think Jane thinks it's funny. I think Jane remembers you with creeping dread. He married Cha-Cha, that wife of 4 years. Cha-Cha. Cha-Cha was 100% human run, and I don't think he knows that. Is that true? Was Cha-Cha actually just a person who searched for you? No way.
When I was 14, I stayed the night at my estranged childhood best friend's house and a bunch of people were invited, including a girl I had a crush on in primary school.
That's elementary school.
I had brought a pack of cigarettes with me that I had bought as I had started smoking chop. Me and this girl snuck out at night to talk and flirt without being around others. We proceed to be out there for hours and finish the pack. We start hooking up, and she's writing my face when a flashlight pans directly at us.
Oh my god.
And my best friend's dad looks angry and shocked.
Okay.
He cusses me out and then asked me what happened to my face. Turns out she was on her period.
Come on, man. Fake story? Yeah, how do you not know? You know, dude. What? It's a fake story. We've all been there.
I got called vampire for the next 3 years.
Okay. I'm stupid.
When I was in 4th grade, I would go down the slide during winter at recess, since the ice made you faster. There was a recess after an ice storm where my friends and I lined up waiting to zoom. When it was my turn, I flung myself a dangerous distance.
Okay.
I'm extremely lucky that I didn't get hurt, because my velocity had been stopped by a pair of legs. I accidentally drop-kicked a schoolmate at blinding speeds.
Boom!
She was carried away immediately by teachers, and they didn't get a chance to apologize.
Alright.
I never even got a good look at what she looked like, or her name. Fast forward to my junior year of high school. I was asking out a girl.
No.
She said she wanted to like me, but declined.
Uh-huh.
Her response scarred me. You crippled my best friend for life. I forgot that even happened, and she needed to remind me of my Zangief maneuver. I still don't know who it is.
For life, dude? She's gonna like walk around with a cane and a hobble for life because you went down the slide? Spinal, you think? He said he hit her in the legs. It's gotta be like a hobble, right? I guess it's not manslaughter. How fast are you fucking going? You're lucky I don't send this to the authorities. What a good friend, I guess. Yeah, you and I can't go out. You almost killed my friend. Her quality of life is like way worse now.
During my first week of university, the Student Association put on a boat cruise party for the first years.
Hell yeah.
Fast forward a few hours, I'm drunk and dancing away, and I notice a girl crawling around the deck, searching for what I presume her handbag or phone. I helped her up and asked her if she was okay and if she needed help, and she replied, "Oh, it's okay, I'm good. And if you haven't seen it, then you're not much help." So I let go, and she tumbled back onto the deck.
Okay. Tumbled.
I felt bad, so I helped her up again, and she was started to get annoyed, so I apologized and let her on her way. She fell to the deck again, and at this point the group of people around me was starting to notice and look at me with horror.
Is she just like drunk as hell, and now like you're getting blamed with like throwing her on the floor again and again?
The girl helps herself up this time, and it's then I notice she's actually missing a leg.
So you just keep picking up this girl. Hey, do you need help? No. Okay. Hey, you all right? You doing okay? All right, good luck. How do you miss that? It's on a boat. It's dark.
And missing her prosthetic leg.
Oh. Yeah.
At this point, I keep apologizing and tell her I didn't notice that at all, but she laughed it off, saying it was okay.
Losing a prosthetic leg on a boat sounds miserable, especially with a lot of other people on it. Because people are going to be kicking it around and, like, moving it, and it's probably going to sway with the boat. It might, like, roll somewhere, right? How did pirates do it? Yeah.
She did end up finding her prosthetic and walking stick by the end of the cruise.
That's nice.
And to this day, we are good mates, and she is always one to have a good laugh about the prosthetic.
Good mates. This guy's a pirate. Did you call yourself first mates? Arrgh. Me prosthetic went over starboard. Oh, me prosthetic is now in Davy Jones' locker.
When I was 13, I went to an after-wedding party with my parents. I didn't want to go nor even knew who were getting married.
Okay.
Once we arrived, I quickly saw a girl roughly my age coming to greet me and asked me if I wanted to play.
Aww.
As everyone else at the wedding was 20 plus, I accepted even though at this time I was really scared of girls.
Who isn't?
We spent the whole afternoon together and slowly created a connection, knowing she lived far away. I knew I wouldn't see her again, so I made the most of my first time really talking to a girl.
This is sweet.
She even took my first kiss right before my parents called me up to join the adults and come see the husband and the bride making their speech before we leave.
How does this mess up?
That's when I learned that the girl I was talking to was the daughter of the husband, and that the husband was my father's cousin.
Oh, that's the end, by the way. How far, hold on. Your father's cousin's daughter. I'll allow it. Wrong button. No. That one. I really gotta mark those buttons better. I have a responsibility to myself and to others. My bad. Bit failed. Try again next week. Yeah, I never do it right.
When I was born, my throat didn't function all that well.
Ew!
This led me to develop a very, very weak gag reflex.
Right.
My fear of throwing up in public worsened, but the triggers narrowed down to two main things: anxiety and poop. When I was around 17, I went to E3 for the very first time.
Okay.
The drive there combined with the amount of people I was around combined with how excited I was triggered my spidey sense.
Okay.
So I knew I was going to throw up soon.
What a terrible passive to have.
I made my way to the bathroom and to my horrible realization, the bathroom was completely packed. I waited for a stall to open up and got it, preparing to try and throw up as quietly as possible, when the man in the stall next to me unleashed the most cartoonishly sounding Family Guy-esque diarrhea fart I've ever heard.
Dude, do you ever go to a public bathroom and you're doing that on purpose? Like a guy who's pushing to make the loudest noise possible. Like they want applause when they leave the stall. I hate that. Coney, some people have IBS. Oh, here we go. Coney, did you not consider the fact that some people have very big buttholes? Tonight's stream sucks. It's a rough night.
I thought the sound was so funny that I laughed out loud for a second before involuntarily throwing up.
Oh, God.
Haha, UUAAGHHHH is what it sounded like. The man in the stall heard that and he started laughing, releasing another fart. This went back and forth about 2-3 times before I couldn't throw up anymore. But there was no doubt that every single person in that bathroom heard me throw up and heard the man violate the toilet.
This sounds like a beautiful moment. I would wait outside the stall to shake his hand. That sounds beautiful. That's amazing.
I left the stall with my eyes to the floor.
Oh my
quickly
God.
washed my hands and left.
Yeah.
My only solace in this utter embarrassment was that hopefully, a man who had explosive farts at E3 is telling the same story.
Was it anybody? Anybody in chat? Does anybody else recognize this story? Were you in the stall next door? This is probably the most I've caught of a stream of yours. Really enlightening to see just how much I assume gets cut from YouTube. Thank you, Sam, man. Let me be clear, it is not usually this bad. This is a disgusting stream. It's not normally like this. Never eat during the stream. Never eat, never drive. Those are the rules.
It was my 5th birthday, so my parents decided for a 5th party let's splurge and take her to Chuck E. Cheese's with the tables, birthday stage, and all that.
Fancy ass.
Even invited the school kids and family.
Sheesh. Going all out at the birthday.
In my 5-year-old mind, I was like, hey, it's my birthday, I am a show off and get on this stage with the animatronics. Keep in mind, this was my first time there. I didn't know about animatronics, I've only seen the mascot. Plus, they weren't moving, they were. Still. So I started dancing on stage.
Okay, my guess. Okay, let me predict it. Chucky comes to life, kid gets scared to fucking death, jumps through the table like he's superhuman.
My mom said, hey, get off the stage, and I, being the smart ass that I was
Birthday
because it was my
boy.
birthday, said no. And like karma, the animatronics came on, all I heard was, hey kids. I screamed to the top of my lungs and swan dived off the stage and face planted crying. My dad, who was by the arcade games with my baby brother, booked it to the stage to pick me up while I was screaming bloody murder crying on the floor in front of all these school kids, while my mom just watched it all unfold, was dying of laughter at the table. She said till this day it's still the funniest shit she's seen me do.
Okay.
Not gonna lie, I laugh at myself too.
Okay, I wasn't able to find a good place to pause because that story just kept going. The lights coming on, Chucky, hey kids! Ah! I would dive off the stage too. Those things move very suddenly indeed. It's funny that you don't know that they dance. You just see them on stage and you're just like, yeah, I guess they just sit there. I guess they just stand on the stage, and I just had to use my imagination. Did none of the staff notice he was on stage? I promise you, none of the staff give a shit. If you have not been to a Chuck E. Cheese recently, I implore you to go. The staff doesn't give a single shit about anything or anyone. I went to a Chuck E. Cheese semi-recently. Roach in the bathroom. The people were just not attentive. I got to the stand to try to like get money for the games. Two women like standing, like they're young girls, like high school or college age, like very young with their uniforms on, standing not like out of sight, but like behind a wall. And I'm like, kind of hitting the. Like I'm trying to sigh a little bit or just like drum on the table. They definitely see me having a little chat. Nobody gives a fuck about Chuck E. Cheese.
I've been watching backlogs of Cringe Confessional on YouTube for the past 2 weeks while eating my midnight pizzas.
Eating your midnight pizzas. I don't know why that's so funny to me. It's 12 a.m. Multiple pizzas. It's like the assumption of the nightly routine. Like, there's like a routine that we all share. You know, my midnight pizzas. Oh, I love my midnight pizzas. A long-standing Coney tradition. All right, well, I'm honored. Thank you. Thank you. Please continue.
Whenever I watch these stories, I think to myself, wow, so many people have such great stories of embarrassing stuff that happened to them. I like to think I had an eventful childhood, but I don't have any stories like these.
Okay.
I was wrong. People say that severe depression can greatly affect your memory, so I always assumed that's what caused it.
I should have assumed that by the midnight pizzas.
The truth is that my horrible memory is a result of many things, but a big one is apparently repression.
Okay.
Only a few times in my life have I felt this awakening where I evaluate my life based off unlocked memories. But this is the first time the repressed memories were solely traumatic because of the overflowing cringe content of it all.
Okay.
The Cringe Confessional submission that triggered this was from over a year ago. It was a pretty unremarkable one about this kid who ate his test paper in school since his teacher promised him an A
I remember
if
that
he
one.
did.
Yeah, alright.
The specific part that unlocked the memories for me was when his teacher said to him, "You are a very strange child." And it reminded me of a moment in 6th grade when my teacher said the same to me.
Okay.
That incident isn't the story I'm here to share.
Okay.
Though. I was a very socially challenged child, and I had a big problem with needing a lot of attention from others in school since my parents left me home alone for hours every day.
Oh my god, okay,
I
that's
think
not
this
good.
is the case for a lot of class clowns and other attention seekers in school.
Okay, interesting
It wasn't uncommon
hypothesis.
for me to humiliate myself in school to get attention from all of my peers.
Okay, so just to be clear, there's not a word minimum. You are not paid by the word. You could submit a story no matter the length. We could just have any number of words here, but let's keep it up.
During lunch, I used to go up to this table that only girls sat at, and just kind of check in with them in a convoluted sort of way, because I didn't know how to speak personally with others.
Really?
One day, I went over to the table of girls and said, "Claire, you said chocolate chip cookies are your favorite, right?" She had never even spoke to me. "I just made that up to start something."
Wow, okay.
She said, "What are you talking about?" "But yeah, I guess chocolate chip is my favorite kind." I replied, "You don't remember the conversation we had outside Mrs. Something's class?" Again, this was a complete fabrication.
I know!
Well, anyways,
I get it!
I wanted to show my appreciation for you, so I bought you some cookies from the cafeteria.
What the fuck?
I revealed the stack of choco chip cookies that I stole from the cafeteria, because $1.50 for a cookie seemed unreasonable to me back then.
Okay.
She replied, "Oh, no, it's okay, you can keep the cookies. I already have my lunch." And I shot back with, No, I bought them on your account, so it's basically like you paid for them." I thought she would say, "How did you find out my account info?" Or maybe, "Give me back the money you spent from my account."
Yeah, that would be the normal
But she did not take it
response.
that lightly. The way my school worked was that you, or usually your parents,
Oh my God.
would deposit money into your school lunch account online.
This is very
and then you
important
could
for
use
the
those
lore.
funds
This
to
is
pay
very
for your
important
lunches.
for the lore.
Some people's parents were more strict than others about how these funds could be spent.
Okay.
Apparently,
Okay.
Claire's parents were pretty strict with how they set things up.
Really?
Claire stood up out of her chair and yelled in my face, "What is wrong with you? I don't even know why you always come here trying to talk to us. We all hate you and you were so annoying.
Oh, man.
Now my dad's gonna kill me and it's your fault."
That's not nice of Claire.
That was not a response I was prepared for.
Man.
I had no idea what to say, so I just said, "I was just joking.
Just kidding.
I actually just bought them on my account.
Good one.
Sorry, but that did not ease tensions."
Funny.
She continued yelling at me and I didn't know what to do, so I just ran back to my seat and told my friends at the table, "There's a crazy girl who's really mad at me." And then Claire ran in with a big group of her friends all the way next to my seat. She continued yelling at me and berating me and I had a little anxiety attack. because I had no idea what to do and just got completely overwhelmed.
Okay.
I started crying and she said, "Why are you crying? What's wrong with you?" And in panic, I slammed my face down into the plate of food I had.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the lunch that day happened to be serving spaghetti with piping hot marinara sauce.
Okay.
I was already overwhelmed, but now I was overwhelmed with burning hot marinara sauce all over my face and in my eyes. I tried opening my eyes, and I was nearly blind from the tears and burn. My history teacher shows up saying, "What the heck did you do?" And I replied, "I want to KLL myself."
Oh my god.
This was not the correct answer to his question.
Holy shit.
Since I said that, the history teacher decided to call the principal in to deal with me.
Uh-huh.
Fast forward a few minutes, and I'm sitting in my principal's office with a still slightly saucy face, explaining to this 80-year-old man what I did.
My god.
I walked out with a 2-week lunch detention, and a hole where my dignity used to be.
The end. Oh my god. That chatter is Homer. That was Homer of Greek legend. That is the first feature-length Cringe Confessional. Thank you for all of the lore, all of the detail. I especially like the part where you regaled us with tidings of an earlier Cringe Confessional story, and then that didn't have to do with anything. We just said that. You remember when that happened? Anyway, here's my story. Thank you for that. A little prologue there. Get someone to animate this. Yeah, if I have any animators in the Coney community, listen, I think this story would be perfect for a little story time. I think we gotta lay off the midnight pizzas, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think we need any more midnight pizzas. It's kind of changing our brain chemistry here. That is a huge story. How many words is that? Hold on. Word counter says that is 1,092 words. Congratulations to the first 1K Cringe Confessional.
When I was young, I used to watch a lot of animal documentaries with my mom.
Cool. What are the rhinos doing?
That was until in 2012 Animal Planet had released a movie documentary called Mermaids, A Body Found.
What?
This, of course, was an obviously fictional documentary presented as real evidence of mermaids' existence and the government's attempts to cover it up, but little old me had no way of knowing that it was fake.
Okay, that's irresponsible.
The cringe of this story, however, did not start till later that night with me laying in bed.
Okay, yeah.
In hindsight, there was nothing particularly scary about the film, but little me always found the mermaids in it creepy. Plus, there were at least a few jump scares throughout the movie that
Mermaids
managed
are
to
a little
get me.
scary. I get it.
That
right?
night, my mind wandered.
They're kind of sirens, right?
I became a bit more easily startled by all the little noises that happened around me, and at some point I stared into the dark hallway outside my bedroom door and was reminded of the mermaids. Okay. Thinking if they were intelligent enough to evade human sight for so long, what else were they capable of?
Probably not walking on land. Famously, I don't think that happened.
Fearing a mermaid attack, I went up to my mom's bedroom and asked if I could sleep with her for the night, and thus began the worst spiraling of my childhood life.
Dude, imagine being mom and you watched a stupid movie about mermaids and your kid is scared to fucking death of mermaids. They could appear in any body of water. We're on land. We're in our house. Dude, I would be so angry if my kid developed a phobia of mermaids specifically. Not the ocean, not sharks, fucking mermaids. Son, we are landlocked. We live in Kansas.
After a bit, she even tried calming me by saying if the mermaids were so intelligent, they may actually be friendly to me and we'd end up getting along, which did nothing to alleviate my fears.
Okay.
Also, if this hasn't made you cringe yet, you may have noticed I neglected to mention my age until now.
We go 9 or 10.
I was 12, going on 13.
Bad, but could be. You think it's not that bad? A 12-year-old that's scared to death of mermaids because they saw a fake TV show? Scared of Chucky? Being scared of Chucky is normal. He's a little doll guy that'll kill you. Mermaids don't do that. I guess I haven't seen the movie. Maybe they do in the movie. I don't know.
When I must have been around 4 or 5, I was on a plane with my parents for some reason I can't remember.
Right.
What I do remember is that the plane we were on was one of those big, 2-aisle ones with a ton of people.
Oh, sure.
While most people on board are probably sleeping, I decide now is the perfect time for some in-flight entertainment.
Oh boy, movies!
I tap the screen and get to the music section. The song that starts playing is the Vingerboys' 1998 smash hit, We Like to Party. This song seemingly strikes my brain like a sleeper agent activation keyword, and my main objective is to now be as annoying as possible. I start humming and singing the song out loud while the entire plane is trying to sleep. Multiple times. On repeat. My parents try and get me to stop, but either the music is just too powerful, or it's the undiagnosed ADHD that refuses to cooperate.
God, dude.
At one point they take the earbuds away from me, but I just keep singing it from memory. I'm 24 now and think about this every time I'm on a plane now.
This is your heart song. You found your heart song, Chatter. That's beautiful. That's the melody that comes from within you. That's your heart song. Imagine you are trying to sleep on a long overnight flight. Some fucking 4-year-old keeps just... I guess it's the same as like Who Let the Dogs Out. That was like that was a different generation. People loved the dogs being out.
During a period of time, a family moved in behind our house, which had a small cut through between our house and theirs. They had a kid who would come over frequently and play, mainly with my older brother. That being said, he was a total jerk to me, and I was always his punching bag when I got the chance to play with him.
Okay.
But one day, I was given a perfect opportunity for revenge.
What?
Aforementioned playset slides are lightweight plastic, so the kid held up the slide so the lawnmower could pass through.
Okay.
At this time I was in the playset, and I noticed the binoculars inside. The binoculars were a set of mirrors encased in a long plastic tube.
Oh, that's weird.
And, most importantly, they can attach rather easily from a grip in the playset.
Okay.
In an act of revenge, I took the binoculars from the grip and chucked it down the slide as hard as I could. It hit the kid directly on the head.
Oh!
When my mom came out to see what had happened,
Ow.
a giant goose egg grew on the kid's
Holy
head like
shit,
in a Looney
man.
Tunes cartoon.
Oh my God.
I don't remember getting in trouble for this, but I remember hearing that my mom back then didn't care for this kid to begin with, so she let it slide. Thanks for hearing my tale of revenge and have a great day.
That's the end. We just hit a kid in the head with something really hard, and then he got really hurt bad. And my mom was like, fuck it, I didn't like that kid anyway. Wow, great story. I don't really think that one's cringe. You got away with it. It just sounds like justice to me. That's the last story of the night. That's it for Cringe Confessional. The end, everybody. That's all 30 stories. Well, that's going to do it. What was your favorite story, YouTube? Go ahead and comment below. Kind of a rough night. I'm going to be honest with you. We've had better. Why not check out the playlist that we have right here? Watch more Cringe Confessional on YouTube. Check it out.